that. I think I figured this out. I think. So we're going to jump back in. I think I can get us over to the right page. I wanted to show you something here. Bring this up. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see this. So what you do is you have the tundra, which is kind of up here. It's growing like this. I wanted to kind of lay out what we're doing when we are stripping. Hopefully you guys can see this. So this is let's just say the tundrage, which is basically an insulator of the ice, and it's just clumps of vegetation. You can't really walk through it. It's like it's really it's a what we have here on that frozen. And this is Andy is trying to get through is this section right here, and this is about you're looking at about 12 feet of mud, and that is literally frozen salt, really 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 hard. Then you get down into hay gravels, which are down in here in this area right here, and this has got the gold in it. Ours we thought was about 5 feet deep. We have areas that are actually, up to 7 feet right here with my mouse. So it looks like little kid stuff here. But anyways, this is what we're trying to get down to is this stuff here. Then you have bedrock down here. And this could be all kinds of different things. It could be hard bedrock, like if it's schisty bedrock, right? Let me erase this. You'll have kind of like spires of rock that come up. And so when the gold over the years, earthquakes and things is sinking down through this pay gravels, right? So you'll have the gold over the years, it's wanting to go down because it's so heavy. Over the years, it's working a little piece of gold. Let's say it's working its way down in. That's why you have higher concentrations of gold, you know, in these areas like from here to here. But sometimes you have kind of schisty bedrock, which has rock that kind of comes up, jagged rock like this. And sometimes that gold works its way down in. So it'll actually can get, down into the bedrock, 1 to 2 feet, you know, is what we've experienced. So sometimes you have to take a little bit of bedrock with it. Now, the problem is if this bedrock is clay or hard, it's easier if it's not clay. So what does clay do? If it's clay, right? I'm trying to draw this out. Then that gets sticky, and that you send that through your wash plant, some of this stuff here, and it can actually grab gold and send it on down your box. So you got the tundra, you got this frozen mud here. Here's your pay gravels here. This is your good stuff here. And then you try to take, a foot, a little bit in here, depending on if it's going to steal gold, if it's worth it. So, anyways, Andy's got part of the cut before the dozer motor blow up. He's got part of this cut like this. So if you were to look at an overview of our cut, it's like this. So this will be usually 250 to 300 wide. Let's just say it's 250. Then we start to ramp the mud out like this. We make a ramp like that. And so those ramps, they'll be on each side of this cut. So you'll have another ramp over here. And this is that mud. But what it does is it actually carries the mud, the dirt, and the seed from when we reclimate, right? We will roll this back in over the top here. So this is your pay gravels. You'll have your gravels in this area right here. And then you have to take it from the back of the cut first, because now, like what I said, as your bedrock is gooey, it doesn't have a hard base to it, right? Then you're basically running on clay and mud, and you're going to sink. So if the bedrock is real soft, you're going to get one shot going in there and getting this pay gravel out of here. See? So you got to start. If you're going to go this direction, say your plant's here, your only road. You have no roads up here. You can't drive heavy equipment on this stuff. You can't. You're going to sink. You got a 40-ton Komatsu rock truck. You got to plan this stuff out. People don't. There's a lot of master planning just to get this little piece of ground out and get it to your plant. And so so what you have to do is you have to start back here at the back end if you're going this direction, and you have to work your pay dirt out a certain way so that your trucks can come in down a hard road and then do a turnaround. You have to plan all this out, and this is where Andy's really, really good. And we put our heads together and we try to figure out how to move this dirt out of here, right? So the truck will come in and we'll load this pay dirt out in the system, and then work your way from the back of the cut, back in. Now, to thaw this stuff out, you have to dig ditches. You have to dig ditches here. You got to dig ditches on each, and that means all the way to bedrock. So you're 7 feet deep all the way around. And what happens is all this pay dirt gravel, all this gravel will start to thaw out. The water will hit these ditches. They'll come down to a sump hole. We build a big sump hole here, and this is where we put our pumps. And we'll stick a Barco, which we have a huge Barco pump right here, probably $150,000 pump that sits right here. Okay. So we get all this whole cut to drain the water on the outside, right? And down these trenches, down into our sump hole right here. And this is the lowest point. We find the lowest point. We put a floating suction out here. You've seen all that. Then we pump this water into our circuit this direction, which actually helps get us some more water because we recirculate everything we got going on. So anyways, this is where your pump is here. And so when you see it in the show and you see what's going on, you'll see that there is nobody up in this whole area that is doing these cuts right. For some reason, but I learned this from a lot of the guys. We learned how to do this through, Favrons, a lot of big miners up there, the Christie family. So we learned how to strip. Sometimes you'll cut some ditches in here, but this will thaw out. All the water will leave this cut, and you'll be able to drive on this gravel right here. You'll be able to drive on this. It'll be nice and firm and hard. Well, the problem is we got to about here, and then our dozer motor blew up. So we have a long ways to go. And the question is, to hit our highest gold total that we've ever had, we got 3,000 ounces one year Everybody forgets that. We dug up 5 million before, so we know what it's like. We moved millions of yards of dirt that year. But to get to this point, you're 1,800 feet. Sorry about the chicken scratchings, but I'm never used this thing before. But anyways, so this is your cut as a whole, and this is what's going on. So when you do watch the show, you got 250, 300 feet wide. You got ditches around here that you try to cut if you have machines that can do it. These are your ramps of the mud that you just stripped. They're ramped here and they're positioned in such a way that they'll actually hold position and be ready for us to push and reclimate when we're ready. You got your pump down here. Right now we have a huge pump there that's actually barely running any fuel at all because it's so big. Barco's our pump company, and they've just been absolutely great. We appreciate everybody that's helped us. Um, so you have your plant here, your cut in this direction. My circuit goes like this. You'll see this in the show. We sluice into this circuit. The water just recirculates right around and goes around and around and around. Anyways, thanks, guys. I just wanted to point that out, and I will do some more of these here. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and hit me up, and I can answer anybody's questions about what we're doing so that you guys get a little deeper insight on what we're trying to do here. This cut, as you're going to find out in the show, is actually pretty awesome. So this Friday, please spread the word. We love all you guys, and we really appreciate if you get the word out for us. Thank you.